Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm on a couple minutes late, but we're here. So hopefully you're doing well. I don't know why this looks kind of funny. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. And on this Friday morning, it's a brand new day, and I'm always grateful. For a brand new day means another chance, means new possibilities, opportunities, and whatever other T's you want to put in there. So, transform your physical health live is where I answer your health and fitness questions live based on my experience as a personal trainer, and just my personal experience training my own self. And I also talk about health and fitness related stuff that's kind of like in the news or on podcasts I come across or whatever. And lately I've been doing more podcasts. I'm an avid podcast listener, and also I don't really look at the news much, because it's always something there to kind of pull your spirit down. But I digress. So one guy that I follow somewhat who shows up on a lot of podcasts that I listen to is his name is Dr. Peter Attia, and I don't have all his title stuff here. I've actually mentioned stuff from him before, but he is a longevity kind of expert among other things. He kind of studies things related to longevity. And next time I'll probably do better and just kind of have his whole title. But anyhow, one thing I've consistently heard him talk about is grip strength and eccentric movement and their relation, how those actually can correlate with a longer life. So let's start with grip strength. So, grip strength, if you hold on a second. If you think about grip strength, it's basically just, being able to hold something, squeeze and hold something, like whether it be like a bag of groceries, or you're hanging from a pull-up bar, or um you're squeezing one of those grip strengthener things, or different stuff like that. And the thing is, grip strength is actually associated with good grip strength is associated with a longer life. Now, specifically, um, so I'm going to reference this study that I came across, and I wish I had some of the audio from Dr. Peter Attia himself, but this is a study that's not associated with him. But just listen to this. It says, in this study, it was about 6,089 people, men who participated in this study, and their maximal hand grip strength was measured from 1965 through 1970. Um, Among healthy 45 to 68-year-old men, hand grip strength was highly predictive of functional limitations and disability 25 years later. Good muscle strength in midlife may protect people from old age disability by providing a greater safe margin above the threshold of disability. So basically, people who had stronger grip strength, a lot of times they didn't have as much disability down the road, like physical disability. Now, I've also heard that grip strength is associated with like low grip strength is associated with um it can be even associated with like stuff like dementia and stuff like that. Now, before I quote anything like that, um I need to find a source or whatever, because I don't want to. Okay, yeah. So here's something here that I'll also link to, and um it says this. Uh Compared with people who had higher hand grip strength scores at the start of the study I'm reading right now. People with lower grip scores were more likely to later have problems with thinking and memory, brain imaging markers of vascular dementia, and diagnoses of dementia. Um, but anyhow, this study is not necessarily proven that hand grip strength cause cognitive decline. But this other studies have suggested a similar association. So anyhow, even though it's not saying necessarily that low grip strength cause cognitive decline, at the same time, there seems to be an association with it. Now, let's think practically about grip strength. Grip strength helps to keep you safe in a very practical way. For example, if you are, like I said, hanging from something and it's not safe for you to let go, you have to be able to hold on to it. Okay. And so you figure grip has to do with, of course, a lot of the hand muscles. There's also a lot of forearm. Depending on if you're hanging from something, you're also kind of like activating a whole lot of other muscles in your upper body here too. Um, but yeah, and it can go up through your shoulder. So anyhow, grip strength very practical keeps you safe, like if you lose your balance. But it also seems to be somehow associated with the longer life, not just from the standpoint of keeping you physically safe, but other ways. Perhaps there's an association between low grip strength and cognitive decline. And then also, like I said in the other study, um, which I actually backed off of. But anyhow, it also seems to be associated with not aging well physically down the road. Okay. Okay, yeah. So anyhow, the other thing is eccentric movement. Now, eccentric movement is not just like weird movement. Eccentric, if you know about exercise, you have what's called the concentric part of the move and then the eccentric part of the move. So imagine I'm doing shoulder press. Sorry, dogs are running past my past my window. I don't know what's going on. But imagine you're doing shoulder press. Shoulder press is where you either have like a barbell or two dumbbells and you just press them basically above your head. Okay. Now, when you actually push up, that's called the concentric portion of the movement. So basically, it being a shoulder press, you're using a lot of front deltoids, you're using a lot of triceps, and you're probably using the upper, very upper chest, if any. And so that's concentric. So what happens is your muscles are contracting to the push the weight up, basically use in the way that you're using your arms. Now, when you come down, sometimes we might think about that coming down portion is just like the muscles are deactivated, but no, something is working. So what's happening is it's a controlled like deceleration because you could just let it fall like that. That's what would happen if you weren't using any muscles. But the fact that you're controlling it down, there's muscle usage going on. Um, it's just eccentric movement. So what happens is it is not contraction of the muscle, it's a strength in the lengthening of the muscle. So what happens is as you're lengthening, for example, those deltoids and whatnot, they're like helping to control the movement down. That is eccentric movement. Now you can also think of eccentric movement as, for example, if you're walking up the stairs, that is concentric movement. I mean, concentric, like the way that it's using your quads. When you're going downstairs, it's not the same. It's eccentric. So eccentric movement is basically kind of like putting the brakes on. So putting the brake coming down from a shoulder press, walking down the stairs or walking downhill, or if you're doing like a seated row, that's like letting returning the weight to the bottom portion. These are eccentric movements. So these are also associated with longevity. I think mostly because of the fact that it helps to protect you from falls, especially with your leg muscles. So you got to figure, and the way Dr. Atia talks about it, a lot of times these falls that people have whenever they're older, maybe 70s, especially 80s and 90s and whatnot, these falls that lead to the broken femurs and the broken hips and stuff like that. A lot of times it's associated with a lack of eccentric strength, not being able to slow down very well. And so Dr. Peter Attia says the eccentric movement is a lot more associated with, I mean, a lack of eccentric strength is associated much more with falls, debilitating falls, than concentric. So it's important to make sure that whenever you're exercising, that you train both portions of the move, that you pay attention. Because again, we like the push, we like the contraction, but like focus on the slowing down part too. And I'm guilty of it. Like for example, push-ups, which I've mentioned on this channel a couple times, are a move that I don't like, but I do it because it's very good with building muscle, especially in the chest. But I typically zip through the reps because I don't like to do them. But that said, really, if you really want to strengthen both portions of the move, you need to, focus on the push and then don't just drop down. Sometimes I go down a little too fast, but like, kind of control it a little bit more. Try to keep the same tempo pushing up as you do like coming back down. Okay. So anyhow, eccentric strength helps to keep you safe from falls, because a lot of times what happens is people who might fall later on and get one of these fractures or whatever, they're not as able to slow down. And so you want to be able to like slow yourself down. You want to be able to walk downstairs safely. So it might be a good idea for you to practice flights of stairs. That's a move that I've recommended in the past. You can get a good workout. Go up the stairs and down the stairs, and up the stairs and down the stairs. Set a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or more, and just do that. And just take your time. Go up the stairs and down the stairs and up the stairs. And think about it, even practically doing something like that is just a good idea as you get older, especially if you're not already doing that a lot. Or even if you do it like, even if you go up and down the stairs a few times a day, having a concentrated time of doing that more often will, that will stimulate your muscle to be even stronger, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'll give you some links to the stuff I pulled up here today so you can check it out yourself. Hopefully you do and you don't just take my word for it. But either way, be empowered. Remember, grip strength, eccentric strength. Both of these are very, very key as you get older to maintain and even to develop to a higher level. Hopefully that makes sense. And if it was helpful to you, make sure you share it with somebody, and also have a good day.